A summary of Antigone, pronounced Antigone, not Antigone. The ancient play Antigone was thought to be written in 441 BC by Sophocles. The play begins like most Greek tragedies begin, with a prologue. Antigone, our tragic hero, approaches her sister Ismene. Antigone wants help from Ismene to bury their brother Polynices, even though just a little bit before, Creon, the king, had decreed that anyone who attempts to bury Polynices will be stoned to death. Why did the king Creon decree this? Basically, there's this whole other story where Antigone's brothers, Eteocles and Polynices, join different sides of a war and they, end up killing each other. And Creon, who's their uncle, has to decide which son to side with by honoring one's death and, leaving the other one out to rot. And so he decides to leave Polynices out to rot, basically. And that's a totally different story. Anyways, Creon is a new king, and in the book that says that it makes him a super serious threat, somehow. But Antigone, being the main character that she is, can't just sit still while her brother is left dishonored as food for the vultures. She just feels compelled to bury him. But Ismene is like, no way! I don't want to perish if Creon finds out! Being stoned sounds super painful! And she's totally right. Ismene pleads with Antigone to not go through with her recklessness because she doesn't want to lose her as well. But Antigone is strong-willed and makes it clear that she is not going to budge. When Ismene realizes that she can't change Antigone's mind, she asks Antigone to keep her plans a secret. Sure. In the next scene, the chorus is praying out loud to the god Apollo. In the prayer, the chorus is giving thanks for their recent victory. But that victory came with a steep price. They lost 7 generals and the 2 brothers Eteocles and Polynices in a war. Creon enters and restates his decree. For the audience who hasn't heard it, of course.
We will bury Eteocles with full military honor.
What about Polynices?
Meh.
Suddenly, a guard runs into the room. He states that someone has performed a burial of Polynices' body, but he didn't see who. Creon gets super angry and tells the guards that he better find out who did it, or he will be killed in their place. The guard rushes to find the perpetrator.
I found who did it!
Well, that was fast.
The guard is hauling Antigone, who is Creon's niece. Thus begins the catastrophe, which is the beginning of the end that happens in every Greek tragedy. The guard tells Creon that Antigone came back to bury Polynices again because some of the dirt had been swept off, but she got caught in the act. Antigone immediately admits to the crime. She calls herself guilty and doesn't try to deny it. I'm guilty, and I'm not going to deny it. Antigone preaches about how immoral Creon's decree was, stating that she would have rather died than left Polynices unburied. Creon and Antigone argue about who was right. Antigone believes that Polynices deserved a burial as much as Eteocles did. She says that Polynices' actions in life should have no bearing on how his remains are treated. Meanwhile, Creon argues that by honoring Polynices, Antigone dishonors Eteocles. Ismene is brought into the room to be questioned by Creon. The king wants to know if Ismene helped Antigone in her treasonous crimes. Ismene admits that she did help Antigone. But Antigone won't let Ismene share the blame and tells Creon that Ismene is lying. Antigone, angry at Ismene, remarks that she doesn't need any friends like Ismene who only help her in words but not in action. Creon, who has been disrespected, has no intentions of sparing Antigone, despite them being family. And Antigone makes no attempt to try and save herself, so fierce in her declarations. This stubbornness is her tragic flaw, the thing that gets all heroes in tragedies killed. Creon imprisons the 2 women while he finalizes his decision. Haman appears, seriously out of nowhere. He hasn't been mentioned until now. He's Creon's son and Antigone's fiancé, and also that makes him Antigone's cousin, and anyways, he argues for Antigone's life.
There is a growing sentiment amongst the population that Antigone does not deserve to die. Please, Father, do not let her die. I am only looking out for you. Her convictions were noble at heart.
The chorus advises Creon to heed Haman's warning, but the discussion quickly devolves into a shouting match after Creon questions Haman's character.
Don't kill her!
You're a fool to defend a traitor.
You can't!
I can.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes. Antigone is to be sealed in a cave and starve to death. That is her punishment.
Tiresias the seer, who also, like Haman, appears out of nowhere, comes in and claims that Creon is making a huge mistake.
You're making a mistake. Your mistake is your incapability to admit that you're wrong and not to marry Polyneices.
The seer leaves.
Both.
The chorus once again tells Creon to release Antigone and bury Polyneices because the seer has never been wrong before. Creon finally agrees.
Fine.
Creon leaves to free Antigone. As soon as the king is gone, a messenger comes in and informs the chorus that Antigone and Haman are both dead.
They gasp. Haman has taken his own life.
Eurydice, the queen of Thebes, who has been eavesdropping this entire time, comes in when she overhears the messenger. She's stunned and asks the messenger to repeat his message. The man says that Haman found his love, Antigone, strangled by a rope. Haman tried to kill his father, but then turned his sword on himself. The queen leaves in sadness. When Creon returns to the palace, we learn that Eurydice has also killed herself. The messenger tells Creon that before Eurydice committed suicide, she cursed Creon for having taken away her only son. Creon can't believe what has happened. He admits that he is responsible for the death of his son and his wife. So shocked by the events that have transpired, Creon is not able to walk. He commands his guards to come and carry him away, ending the play. The end.